he hasn't been running around here. He's just, you know, hooked on pretty quick, which is a great thing to see. And it is still a warm summer's day, so like I said yesterday, he might have got a little worn out, and that's maybe why he was a little more reluctant to go. And he's pretty brave, confident horse. I probably don't need to run him around this pen as much as I did. I still like having my horse do these sort of things. I don't so I like to do my groundwork where I feel it's practical, you know, things that are going to be important to me. He wants to be with me, but he's keeping a respectful distance. He's easy to catch, and he wants to follow me around. Is when he comes into my space, I don't move my feet. You know, I move him out of my space. So a lot of people, if he were to come over and step into there, they'd get back out of his way. And the trouble is for the horse is they view that as hurting. It's obviously on a very small level, but they move into our space. If I yield, it's the start of him going, oh, well, I wonder if I can, you know, take that to the next level. And especially a horse like him, he's had, you know, a bit of handling, and he's got, I'm not going to say spoilt issues, but, you know, a little bit here and there. He feels pretty important at times. It's important that I keep an eye on that. And I do trust normally, like if he was a little bit more reactive horse, I'd really want his head there the whole time. But I don't mind him looking around. I'm pretty sure he's going to stay with me okay. Don't want to walk backwards, but that little bit of movement right at the start, I needed to keep his head towards me and make sure his butt was going the other way. Oh no. We'll draw that another hole. Oh, oh. Oh no. Good boy. And cantering, I'd still like him to do a little free canter on his own with the saddle. But obviously his lunging game is getting better each day too, so we could get to the point where we give him a longer lead and, you know, we use the lunge whip and chase him up, and we can do all of that. But just at the moment, you know, it doesn't hurt him to go for a run around, and we can let the fence kind of keep him here. Just hope he doesn't run over the cameraman, which he's kind of going to do. Again, that's pretty much all I wanted to see is like, is he going to step into a canter and get real excited about it? Is he going to be real distracted by the cows or not so much? Oh, oh, good boy. Like him to just turn and follow. He's done that real cool. Also going to practice making sure he stops not too close. So, whoa. Yeah, I want to make sure that he doesn't always think he's got to come marching right up close. But again, we're talking a confident horse here. If he was not such a confident horse, it would be really important that he did turn and follow and come in close and really look to me for support. this guy doesn't need the support so much. So I want him to turn, want him to face, want him to follow. Don't want him to crowd. Knowing how hard to push and how little to push is one of the most important things. You can have all the great techniques in the world and you can know them back to front by all the great horsemen and clinicians that you've ever been to. But adapting and reading your horse is such an important thing. G'day, thank you so much for watching. If you could like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell, that would be awesome. Thank you. Cheers. And he's going to learn like a very specific leg movement here means move your hip, move your shoulder, bend your ribs, turn. But I don't want him bothered about incidental contact. And yeah, with a horse like him, it's not such a big deal. But you could just imagine, and some of you might have horses at home, that if you did that, you'd get a lot of reaction. And my old horse, he'd probably go, "Oh, what are you asking me to do?" But he wouldn't freak out about it. He'd be like, "You know, you just ran over 10 buttons. You know, what do you want me to do?" But he's confident enough, he's not going to get into trouble. You know, because if I'm not clear, he kind of goes, "Okay, well, you're not clear. Well, I don't have to do anything." And that's kind of how I want my horses to go. I give them a clear signal, and it can still be light, but I give them a clear signal and they respond. I don't want to give them the vaguest suggestion and have them react. And bend, relax in position. And then we'll move that hip. And then lead his front end out. Nice. Bend, stop moving your feet. Feel secure in this position. And then move your butt, move your front. And steering on a young horse, like they're very much needing a result. So I'm going to steer this point where I want, is going to let him go. So it's very on and off. Ask him to turn, ask him to turn. And he makes that, you know, if we go round and round and round and round and asking little bit, you know, like young horses just get annoyed. So I'm going to ask you to turn, you go here, I'll leave you. And then hopefully he's going to make that decision to just keep going. And he's jogged off. You know, I'm not going to kill that in him, especially today. We're just going to go with it. And that's great. He's made the decision to move out and come over here. And we're just going to steady him up there, like steer to steady him up. But again, like we've sort of said all along, this guy could be a little lazy and like, "Oh, do I have to work?" So I don't really mind if he offers me a little bit more go than I want occasionally. Like some young horses might look and you can tell they're internally freaking out and they're getting really worried and they're looking and obsessing and like, what if this happens and what if that happens? And you know, if that's the case, I'm just gonna bend him around and get his attention back on me, and basically just deflect his thought pattern. Main thing is he's nice and calm and he's having a great day out. And it's a pleasant experience. And I'm doing things here and there. And that's the fun part about it. He's just sort of investigating and having a nice day out. And I'm sneaking little lessons in here and there that are building towards me having more and more control. Today is certainly not the day where he sees something that he really finds problematic. Today is not the day where I say, "Well, you got to go up there and you have to deal with that." You know, he can kind of keep, if he wants to give it a little bit of a wide berth, I don't really care. In terms of my seating position on these young horses, I'm sitting with my bum tucked right underneath me and try and stay real loose and relaxed in the middle. So if they spook or have a problem, and Sometimes these quiet horses, they're still going to occasionally see something that might really bother them, and they're going to jump sideways. As we said though, we're just keeping it really simple and gradually making more and more decisions for him, but we're in no way trying to say we have ultimate control and impose ultimate control at this point. G'day, thank you very much for watching. I do really appreciate it. This video of Gino's journey is meant to be more of a entertainment video, not educational, as in it's not a how-to video. All horses react and start differently. If you are going to attempt to start your own horse, you really need to enlist the help of a seasoned professional, or get a seasoned professional to do your horse for you and get them started. It's not an easy job, and it's not a job to be taken lightly, because this is your horse's introduction to the rest of his riding career, and it's really not to be messed with. So take it for what it is. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's been a lot of fun to share, and I really appreciate that you've taken the time to watch it and that you'll keep watching the channel. Thank you very much. Cheers.